When truth echoes through time, Nnamdi Kanu, Buhari, and the shameful deceit of the whole country. How a nation of over 200 million was toyed with by a handful of cabals, and the voice that warned us all. Is the recent revelation a suspicious confirmation? In a strange twist of history, Nigeria has reportedly confirmed the death of President Muhammadu Buhari, an announcement that comes not with mourning, but with a cloud of deep suspicion. The timing, the vagueness, and the manner of the disclosure point not to tragedy, but to cover-up. For many Nigerians, particularly those who listened in 2017 when Nnamdi Kanu sounded the alarm, this is not a news, it is a vindication. For years, the notion that Buhari had died and was replaced by a body double or controlled in absentia was dismissed, ridiculed, and buried under official denials. But now, as the truth begins to crack through the deception, the voice of Nnamdi Kanu that once cried in the wilderness now resonates with haunting clarity. Was Nnamdi Kanu's 2017 declaration madness or premonition? In 2017, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB), stood boldly and told the world that Muhammadu Buhari had died in a London hospital. He went further to say that what Nigerians were seeing in public was not the real Buhari, but a lookalike from Sudan, whom he called Jubril Al-Sudani. His claims were supported by what many dismissed as conspiracy theories, photographic comparisons of Buhari's ears, voice inconsistencies, differences in handwriting, and even physical posture. Yet, while his warnings were called outrageous by some, they were never directly or conclusively disproved. Rather than investigate or debate the facts, the Nigerian establishment responded with brute force, labeling Mr. Kanu a rebel, jailing him, and attempting to silence him. But time, as always, tells its own truth. Have thought about the silence and the complicity of institutions? What is perhaps even more shameful than the possible deception is the way Nigeria's political elite, media, and religious bodies acted. Not only did they fail to ask questions, they actively aided the silence. Mainstream media refused to probe the inconsistencies. Political leaders, even in opposition, found comfort in silence. The judiciary, civil society, and international observers ignored clear anomalies in presidential behavior and appearance. It was not just a conspiracy of a few, this was a conspiracy of collective cowardice. What about the cabals that ruled Nigeria unelected? If the present revelation means Buhari truly died in 2017, then the last 6 to 8 years of Nigerian governance were in the hands of an unelected few, a shadowy cabal. Figures like the late Abba Kyari, Maman Daura, and others were long suspected of acting as puppet masters. They actively dictated policies, appointments, and national direction, all while parading a mannequin of legitimacy before the people. This is not just deception, it is treason. It is the ultimate hijacking of a democracy by people who neither stood for election nor swore any oath to the people. Indeed, this is Kanu's prophetic vindication amidst persecution. Yes, because we all were witnesses, while this game of national deceit was unfolding, while Nnamdi Kanu raised alarm, he was hunted, arrested, and tortured for daring to speak a truth no one else would say. He was called a liar, a madman, a threat to national security. But as the layers now peel away, history may record him differently, not merely as a secessionist, but as a whistleblower against one of the greatest political frauds in the world history. His voice, suppressed for years, is now echoing louder than ever in the halls of public conscience. This single incident does not only symbolize betrayal of a country, but also constitutional and moral collapse. The Nigerian people, over 200 million people, have been lied to, deceived, and manipulated for years. If the reports of the alleged second death now surfacing are true, then Nigeria has operated without a legitimate president for over half a decade. This is more than scandal. It is a constitutional crisis. Laws signed, elections conducted, and appointments made under such a deceitful cloud are now morally questionable. Trust in governance has been shredded, and the very idea of Nigeria as a republic governed by law stands exposed as a farce. Where do we go from here? The first step is not denial, it is outrage. Nigerians must awaken to the depth of the insult inflicted on them. The cabals that orchestrated this deception must not be allowed to walk away untouched. Investigations must be launched. Names must be named. Truth must be told. This is also a moment of reckoning for Nigerian institutions, the press, the judiciary, and the opposition. Where were they when one man shouted that the king was naked? Why did they fail the people? And more importantly, what will the people do now? In conclusion, this is a clear case of when truth refuses to die. This is not just about Nnamdi Kanu being right. It is about how shamefully wrong Nigeria's power structures have been. It is about a country that refused to listen to a voice in the wilderness and chose instead the comfort of lies. Now, the lies are falling apart, and Nigeria stands naked before the world. The real question presently is not whether Buhari died in 2017. The question is, what will Nigerians do now that they know? Will they rise, or will they be lied to again?